Today I'll be showing you how to set up a new employee task type. To do this, we need to come to the back end of the system, and this is within our settings tab here at the top. Once within settings, we're going to come to HR. This might also be called carer depending on how your environment's been configured. Once within HR, we're going to scroll our mouse to employee, and we're going to come to tasks. Once within tasks, we are greeted by the list of readily available employee tasks. To add a new record, we are going to press the plus button on the right hand side of the screen. Once we press the plus button, we are greeted by our data entry phase. So here for the description, I'm going to use the example today as employee annual appraisal. The initiate from is essentially just referring to the date of which this task is going to be driven from. So at the moment we have the start date of the employee's record. We can also select the date of birth of an employee's record or a specific date. If I was to select this option, it would bring up a few extra drop-down boxes for us to select a specific date. For the example today, I'm going to use the start date of the employee's record. Working our way down the screen, we are greeted by some completion frequencies. These are essentially just referring to, in the ideal world, once the employee has started within the organisation, how soon after would you like this task to be completed by? For the example today of annual appraisal, I'm going to set this frequency to 1 year. Working our way down, we have a warn frequency. This is referring to how many days, weeks, months or years in advance to this 1 year completion frequency that we've just set above, would you like to be warned that this is coming up to be due? For the example today, I'm going to set us up for 7 days. Working our way down the screen, we are now greeted by a reoccurable tick box. This is essentially just referring to whether this task is reoccurable. If it is, we are going to tick this box. We are now greeted by a few extra fields. So the reoccurable from is currently set to the due date. So the due date will run on from the moment the completion frequency date is reached, and the completion frequency date is the one that we've just set up here as 1 year. However, we can also select the completion date of when the previous task was completed. I would recommend that we are going to use our completion date frequency for this example today. Once we have selected our reoccurable from, we are now going to populate the following fields. So the reoccurring frequency is essentially just referring to when this task is next going to occur. As this is an annual appraisal, I'm going to set this to 1 year. Similarly, like to before, where we have our warn frequency, I'm just going to set this as 7 days. That means that 7 days prior to this 1 year reoccurrence, we're going to be warned that this reoccurrence is going to come up to be due. Our instructions field is essentially just referring to the instructions to complete this task. So for here, I'm just going to enter complete appraisal. Our document management drop-down box is currently set to disabled. If you would like the option to upload a document to this task, we can select enabled optional. However, if we were to select enabled mandatory, it means that a document must be uploaded to this task in order for the task to be completed. For the example today, I'm going to use enabled optional. At the bottom here, we have our enabled results tick box. This is just essentially referring to whether this is a pass-fail task. As an employee appraisal isn't a pass-fail task, I'm not going to enable this tick box here, and I'm going to save the record at the bottom right-hand side of the screen. Once saved, we are now able to access our employee type details tab here at the top. Clicking into this area, we are now going to select the type of employees that this particular task applies to. As an annual appraisal will apply to all of these employee types, I'm happy to leave the tick boxes on. However, if I wanted to exclude various employee types, I would untick these features. But for the example today, I'm going to leave all of these ticked and to click save here in the bottom right hand side of the screen. Once saved, you can now see that the record that we've just created joins the list of employee tasks. This is how to set up a new employee task type. I hope this video has been useful for you. Thank you for watching.